It's about these preteen or early teen girls growing up north, and it's about their experiences, that are so varied. But there's a sci-fi. Well, we I'm calling it sci-fi element to it that is based in your own traditions. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I had grown up just loving movies when I was younger. I loved scary movies, Hitchcock, Spielberg, and Goonies, E.T. But then also much scarier movies as well. And I think when I was kind of the same age as the actors in the movie, I had already started to kind of think of movies as part of who I was, which I think is what when you're 13, 14 years old, you're trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in. And for me, certainly horror movies and watching them and at that point starting to make them was just something that I loved. Kind of natural for me when I was had an opportunity to make my first feature that when I loved movies like Goonies and kids having adventures. And certainly for me growing up in Nunavut, I had lots of adventures with my friends and my brothers. And so it seemed like a lot of fun to try and make a movie like that up in Nunavut. And then my nephews, who are actually 5 and 7 years old, they are from Pang. And so I thought it would be great, especially for them, to have a movie that was like an alien invasion movie, but set in their hometown.
Population, who cares?
Pang? What other crap hole are you living in? I think Pang is awesome.
You guys!
But the alien invasion, that's based on some Inuit mythology?
Ryan Cavan, my co-writer, and I really were trying to figure out some kind of how a cool kind of creature could take over different animals and eventually humans. And there's certainly some metaphor within there. And there are some red herrings for the girls where they might think it's some creatures from Inuit mythology, whether it's the Halupilui, these sea witches who live underneath the ice and steal children, or the Irach, who are these shapeshifters. So there's, when growing up in this place where we do have these scary stories and we do kind of play with each other with them to scare each other, it kind of was, that's the world in which this was set.
It was like pure pants scary.
What was it? Eva. When Eva comes to our world, they can disguise themselves as anything. They're like hunter aliens.
You said aliens?
The girls are really kind of strikingly modern, and I'm guessing, obviously it's because of internet and sort of a global homogenization that's happening. Are you concerned that it might lessen the impact or lessen traditions?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because they're modern because they're living in a modern world. And so it's when I was going up to make the movie and initially was writing the script with Ryan, we spent a lot of time with some of these girls who ended up being in the movie, and we're like, how do we kind of capture what it is that they're that how they communicate, what the dynamics of their relationships with each other is, and they would take us out hunting and fishing and take us out to their cabins, and the whole time they'd be talking about their friends and boys and Justin Bieber, and because teenagers are teenagers no matter where they are, they like their friends and they like boys, and so it was like, I think that even in an alien invasion, their crush would somehow make its way in there. What is exciting is also showing these teenagers that, well, yes, are a part of contemporary Canada, they are also dealing with some pretty unique circumstances, but are really proud of where they come from.
My dad always told me you have to observe what you're gonna hunt to understand how to hunt it. They came here to hunt us, but what they don't know is that we're the best hunters there is.
There's so much. They're so layered and real. I mean, they're sweet, they're vulnerable, they're naughty, they're, there's these little wars between them, and then the makeup. It was so charming, so convincing. Did you kind of give them free rein? I mean, they've never acted, or did you actually kind of direct them, or a nice combination of the two?
Yeah, well, a bit of like I mentioned, when Ryan and I were developing this script, we were working with some teenagers that were up there, including Alexis and Chelsea, who ended up being in the movie, and Nalajoss as well. So some of the ways in which they spoke and their relationships with each other definitely made their way into the script. But then what the script, it really doesn't change much from the script to what you saw in the movies. So they were and it was interesting. I was just at the Blue Mountain Film Festival with Tasiana Shirley, who plays. Great. Yeah, I was there with Tasiana, who plays Maika. And someone came up to me and commented, "Oh, she really is nothing like her character." And I was like, "Yeah, she was acting." And of course, so what you're seeing is actors acting. And so their performances were, I think that they, definitely connected with the characters, but Tasiana is quite different than Maika, but was able to connect with her in a way that made it feel real.
Let's go hunting.
Having heard the sort of birth of the idea of the film, are any of these characters you at that age?
Certainly when I was younger, I confused about where I fit in, and had some layers of shame in my identity and my indigeneity that I had to work through. Just like the characters in the movie. So I think that, these girls who, decide that where they come from is worth fighting for and being proud of. I've, in a way, been through that sort of journey on my own.
I love it.